Welcome, everyone, to the Side Draft Podcast. This past weekend, NASCAR Xfinity Series went to Daytona for restrictor plate racing, and a little bit of a controversial finish there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I'd say so.
But before we get into that, strap in, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and let's review this race. So at the start of the race, qualifying was rained out, so it went by owner's points. Ryan Preece, who is running part-time for Joe Gibbs in the number 18, would get the pole, because the 18's been pretty strong all year, with that one win at Bristol, and then with Kyle Busch at Pocono. Right next to him would be Ryan Blaney in the 22, which we all know has dominated this year. And but on the restart, Cole Custer would be the one to take over, take charge. Xfinity guys making names in the Xfinity Series. So good for Custer at the start of this race.
Yeah, it's good to see him get up there and lead some laps. And that 22 car looked pretty nice, didn't it?
But yeah, it looked pretty cool. Really liked the yellow and the dark blue, purple, whatever it was, but it looked really nice.
Yes, then Blaney, he said the car, it just wouldn't pull up to the other cars and stuff and get the lead. I mean, he stayed, top 5 at the first of the race. Then shortly after that, Larson, he will take the lead. He'll just take off where he finished last week.
And Jeff Burton, thank you for the shout out for mentioning Side Draft multiple times.
Yeah, Dale Jr. and everybody just kept hollering out her name all night. Side draft, so it's good to get some exposure like that.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get the side draft, So thank you for all of the shout outs there. And but there was a 9-car breakaway shortly after that. Not a lot of side drafting going on for the 9-car breakaway there. Really calm first stage, nothing really to report other than Kyle Larson just going home with it. But Michael Annett would pit with 3 to go, which should have been legal, I think, but we'll talk about that later. Larson would go on to win the stage, and the top 5 would be Larson winning, Chase Elliott in second. He had this good run with Larson and just finished second, though. Position 3 would be Elliott Sadler, trying to get that first win of 2018, trying to break that long winless streak. And P4 would be the 7 for Justin Allgaier. And we would have Ryan Blaney in the 5th spot there. And pit stops are underway. And what does Blaney do under this pit stop?
He don't take any tires, so he comes out first on pit road.
Which is a good call. Tires don't really burn up at restrictor plates. I mean, you're not even hitting the brakes. If you are hitting the brakes, I'm sorry. You don't deserve to be out there because you got a devil car, But Christopher Bell, just rookie mistake.
Yes, I don't think he found a sign or something. He just come in and
oh, there it is.
Let me park like this. He just come in a little sideways and kind of nobody knew where he was going. It's like,
yeah, all the people with cameras like, oh crap. But thankfully didn't have enough speed to hurt those people, so everyone was all right. No damage to the car. Nothing bad really happens. We had Kyle Larson. For some reason, the past 3 podcasts, we've been talking about this issue. The jack drops for Kyle Larson. Comes out P2.
Yeah. Jack, he just like to get mentioned every week, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, at least he didn't get mentioned enough as side draft because Rick Allen asked Jeff about what side draft is.
And you're hearing it right now.
Right here, telling you about what it is. Side draft, giving you the coverage of both the trucks and Xfinity side by side. And moving on to the penalties that happened during that pit stop was number 5. For some reason, I'm not sure why this was an issue, but he was penalized for pitting out of sequence.
Yeah, I didn't understand that call either because I thought with 3 to go, the pit roads be open, I don't see why I would take a penalty.
I mean, he would just be first. I mean, there's no reason why that shouldn't have been legal, but apparently it was. That would be one of two calls that NASCAR should not have made. But we would have number 20, Christopher Bell, too many men over the wall.
Well, I guess it didn't know what to do because he come in sideways. It was like, somebody jump out there. So,
and last but not least, Cesar Baccarella pitting outside of the box. He needs the Baccarella.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. But Blaney would be leading off that pit road and leading the restart. And Kyle Larson, being Kyle Larson, making a whole bunch of moves left, right, trying to get back to the front.
Yeah, it says it has some storms in the area and some seen some lightning and stuff. I guess he's like, well, I got to go. I got to get up here. So, they started picking up the intensity level in that second stage.
18 and Ryan Preece, we talked about the team being so good lately. Jinxed it right there because he would lose his cylinder or one of his cylinders. He don't have just one. But he would lose one cylinder, maybe two, I don't know, they never said. But with 9 to go in the stage, he will no longer be eligible to win his second win of the season.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking for that team to just come in, pull the hood up, and next thing you know, they're going in the garage.
And haven't really heard from Rex in the entire race at all. We had a mini wreck, I guess, with the 19 sideways, but saves it. Larson would go on to win with a great run from Chase Elliott, taking the stage win away from Ryan Blaney. The top 5 in that stage would be Larson, Chase, number 60 of Cindric, then Blaney and Allgaier. We'll move on to the final stage. We have weather in the area. Will it come? Will it not come? Thankfully, it didn't.
It didn't. It went off to the side somewhere, and it wasn't a factor in the ninth race.
Oh, man, they're racing over there. Better go over here. But Blaney would lead that one. And Ryan Reed goes around. Unfortunate for Ryan Reed. He's really looking forward to every single restrictor plate race that they go to. And unfortunately, will not be getting a win there tonight.
And the number 8 car, Cesar Baccarella, he gets involved in that wreck.
Yeah, it ran into the 99, wasn't it?
I believe so.
So that would be that crash. And another crash that would happen would be with Austin Cindric, Matt Tifft. So what really happened during that wreck?
I believe it was... I was trying to remember it now.
yeah, Tifft went to the inside of Cindric, gave him like a bump.
Yeah, Cindric opened the bottom up a little bit, and Tiff like, I'm gonna try to get in here, and it just ran out of room and got in the back end of Cindric, and next thing you know is cars going everywhere.
Cindric flipping, taking out Reddick, Tifft, Joey Gase, Ryan Truex, Daniel Hemrick, Jeremy Clements, Ryan Reed, Shane Lee, Brendan Jones, Ross Chastain. So a big long list there. So that's Daytona and Talladega for you.
Yep, and then the red flag comes out so they can clean all the stuff up.
So 13 to go after the red flag. And Brandon Hightower goes around. And no caution for that.
No caution for that. I'm just kind of confused about that.
Should have been a caution.
Yeah, he's back there spinning donuts. I thought he didn't win the race.
Please, caution, please. I can't. But I guess he manages to save it after his 500th spin and goes on to pit, get new tires, and Chase Elliott would have major implications after that because something happened to his oil pump.
Yeah, he said something, a belt or something come off. I don't know if something hit it or what that was that caused that, but it was sad to see that team have to take that car behind the wall.
And Kaz Gralla would come in before the green flag.
Yeah, the green flag waves, and he comes into the pits. He had a flat tire, and they fixed that.
Caution would come out for the 93 of Jeff Green. Gets together with Cole Custer and just plays a game of good old wipeout.
Yeah, like again, cars going everywhere again. Ryan Reed, Ryan Sieg, and Josh Williams out that time. There was a lot of Ryans in this race, wasn't it?
Take out all of the Ryans. Project Saving Private Ryan. But we'll be going into overtime after that crash, and like we say over in Creditcast, all the time, overtime. NASCAR goes overtime, and unlike the last Daytona, we would only have one overtime. And Justin Haley comes out of nowhere, gets around Kyle Larson and Elliott Sadler and wins the race, but no.
He went below that yellow line.
And this sparked controversy because Justin Haley did not go below the yellow line while he was passing the leaders. He was clear. Elliott Sadler and Larson were battling for second, beating and banging on each other. Haley sees that and goes below the yellow line to avoid them coming down, which they were. So I think, personally, Haley should be the winner for trying to avoid contact, because isn't that what you're trying to do? You're trying to avoid everyone getting hurt. So
I guess his lesson learned this time will be the next time just knock the two out of the way and you can go on for the finish. That was an awesome move. That was the most incredible move all night. To see him in third, Christopher Bell to give him a good push, and he would just shoot down to the bottom and go around Elliott Sadler and Kyle Larson. I mean, it's like, wow, where did this kid come from?
Yeah. And as a fan, it's like it doesn't matter who gets gifted the win. It doesn't seem satisfying. It's like your favorite driver could be gifted a win. It's like, well, we got lucky. It just doesn't sit right with me as a fan. And it's like, I definitely would hate it if I won the race because some guy got robbed. It's just, I wouldn't feel like doing actual burnouts. I'd just go and get it over with. So really unfortunate that we have controversy, but again, it happens. It's NASCAR. And anyways, congratulations to Kyle Larson on his second win in a row.
But the question is, if Kyle Larson and Elliott Sadler was locking bumpers like they said they was going to black flag him,
yeah,
would he been in a position anyway to win in the first place? That's another controversial question.
Yeah, because I did notice that like Sadler was on the back bumper of Larson. That should have been a black flag for both of them, which never came. And they said, well, it was rules. You got to enforce it. Well, why didn't they enforce it? So, I don't know. I personally think they need to change the yellow line rule. I don't think that they should just get rid of it completely, because Haley never took all four tires under the line. I think it should be all four. You need all four under the line. 2 is fine, but all 4 should be where you get penalized. So, I don't know. Leave us your comments down below of what you think NASCAR should do with this rule. Should it be changed? Do you agree with this ruling, or you're indifferent about it? So, let us know down below. And we're moving on to Kentucky next weekend. A 1.5 mile track. We'll be doing the Truck Series podcast as well. So who do you think will take home the checkered at Kentucky?
I think I go for RCR car with the number 21 of Daniel Hemrick. I think he's going to get his first win this season. And it'll be good to see him in victory lane.
Well, if no Xfinity driver takes the candy again from these Xfinity guys.
You mean the Cup guys?
Oh, the Cup guys. The Xfinity guys taking candy from the Xfinity guys. But if the Cup guys don't come in and just terrorize the sport, any further this year because there's only 3 locked into the playoffs for the Xfinity guys. So I really want to see somebody make a 4th spot because it's kind of weird, going to the playoffs and there's only 3 people in it. But I think an Xfinity guy will win, and it will be Christopher Bell. Really great at tracks like that, and I think he's one of them that can take it to the Cup, guys.
Oh, yeah. And also, I'd like to mention the number 61 car of Kaz Grout. Man, he come into pits, had a flat tire from that one caution and come back, and I think he's finishing 5th.
Yeah. And that car was from like 10 years ago.
10 years ago. I mean, it's not a brand new car, and he about, top 5 finish.
Someone said on Twitter that was a show car for Short Hoss Racing. And here it is, finishing 5th. So Landon Castle has this thing about Show Car Hall of Fame. That car belongs in it.
Oh, yeah.
Finished 5th. So that was our analysis of this race. We are also announcing our mini game, just like we do on Incredicast with Kyle Petty. We are hiding Dell Jr. And one fan of our show found him today, and that was Dean Aderman. So congratulations, Dean, for the shout out. He says riding shotgun with Haley. So that is where Dell Jr. was in this thumbnail. So go on our Twitter and follow him. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you at Kentucky.